and welcome to this week's episode of the Self-Improvement Project. I hope everybody is well. I hope you've all had a good week and you've been enjoying some of the latest episodes of the Self-Improvement Project. I feel like the Self-Improvement Project is growing. There's little things that I'm doing with it. Obviously, the podcast is the main thing. My email every Sunday that I'm doing. I'm really enjoying Twitter and creating other things around that, such as, my ebook. I'm starting to write a little bit more and things like that. So thank you if you have contacted me about those, if you've joined or read or listened to any of that stuff. I do really appreciate it. And today's episode has come about from the ideas that you guys as the listeners are giving me, the stories that I'm hearing, the experiences, the individuals that I hear from and their unique circumstances. And this really resonates with me and allows me to understand people's situations, understand how this content helps them, improves them, allows them to be more aware or get a better perspective of life. So today's episode I've called How to Feel Less Stuck in 3 Steps. Now, feeling stuck is something that we all come across at different points in our lives and for different reasons. I've felt stuck a number of times that I'll share with you today and share things that have helped me. But if there's anything that beyond this episode and beyond listening that you feel has helped you, please let me know. I would love to share that message with the world and allow others to learn from what has helped you specifically. So, how to feel less stuck, and also how do we escape that feeling? It is something that can consume us. It's something that can just lie on our subconscious for so long. And like I said, it can be all consuming for our lives. So how do we escape this? How do we get beyond that feeling? And let's start by breaking it down into different areas. These different areas might be relevant for you right now. They might be a good opportunity to reflect on the past. So these different areas will be these steps that we can take to feeling less stuck and get us on that journey towards being more content, being happy with what we've got and appreciating that for what we have. Now, the first part I wanted to focus on because I feel like it can be quite prevalent in our lives. And the first part is about the financial feeling of being stuck. I feel like this is important because of consumerism and that culture that we live in, as well as capitalism is a massive part of society and lifestyle nowadays. So these elements contribute towards this financial feeling of being stuck. And it also contributes to our lives because of these things. Our lives depend a lot on money. I remember for a few years feeling stuck with this area. It's when I was in my mid-20s, I'd graduated, I had my first full-time job, and you're trying to build this life because you've now reached a stage where you're making money that you need to spend it to validate and gratify your feeling for how hard you've worked to get there. And regardless of how much money you ever make, you can always outspend it by just increasing that consumerism, increasing the cost of your lifestyle. And I feel experience is the only way that we educate ourselves around this. And when you get to that stage of feeling stuck with this area, it is quite difficult to feel like you can escape from it. It creates a bit of a hopelessness feeling and that repetitive treadmill picture of it's just continual. There's no end. And what I feel would have helped here, as well as that education side of things, is long-term thinking. Long-term thinking can give us an end goal. It can be that light at the end of the tunnel, because like I talked about with this feeling of being financially stuck, is that it's all consuming. It impacts every part of your life. So you struggle to almost see that longer term element as well. And don't get me wrong, with long term, you've got to accept that you're going to have to go through shit for it. But and you have a goal for when it'll end. You have that tangible finish line. Undoubtedly, your character will be stronger than ever for going through that experience. You'll be grateful for what you have beyond that experience. You won't take things for granted, these common cliches. But you'll make sure that you'll do anything to avoid it ever again. So this long-term thinking and setting of your goal is so important. Realistically, when can you get beyond that feeling of being financially stuck? You need to ask yourself that. What can you do now that will help you get there? Apart from this planning and writing out and having this long-term goal, what else could help you right now? And these questions and this long-term thinking can be the difference between feeling motivated to get beyond feeling stuck, giving you that motivation to keep your head down and, like I said, go through that shit to get to the other side. That's your motivation. But as we know, and as we come to realize, getting financially unstuck, getting money, only solves any problems you have with money. What if you feel stuck beyond that? What if you feel stuck with what you're supposed to do with your life? What if you feel stuck with knowing who you are? So now I've got two things that we can do to escape that and feel less stuck with ourselves. The first one is purpose. Purpose is a phrase that is banded about something rotten. It's almost this elusive thing that we can't actually hold. We can't really explain what our purpose is in life or whatever other area of life you want to put it. But there's something nice about it being beyond our reach. We're constantly serving it, knowing that there is nothing that we will gain extrinsically for it. There is no reward that we can present to others about how much we're serving our purpose. For me, purpose has to come through work. It has to come through what we want to do and serve every single day. Yes, this podcast and self-improvement project for me is definitely serving my purpose, but it's not my job. My purpose is in education. My purpose is helping others. It's helping others feel good about themselves. So no matter what my job title is, that's my purpose. Purpose comes from belonging. You'll be listening to this and know that there's been times where, from a social point of view, you've been part of a group and you don't belong. What are the groups that you have felt like you belong? Is it your family? Is it your friends? Is it, again, maybe within your career and at work? Where do you belong? What is it day in, day out that you need to do and potentially even get paid for to develop your purpose? Serving others within that purpose. For me in education, I'm serving you. I'm serving the individuals that within my work I want to improve. Whether that's other staff, whether that's customers, whether those are people that have a desire for something and it's up to me to help them with that. Purpose has to be intrinsic. It has to come from within. It has to come from your heart. It doesn't come from your parents. It doesn't come from school. It doesn't come from education. It comes from you. It doesn't come from a salary number. It has to come from your heart. What is it that you could do forever without money and get a deep sense of satisfaction and gratification out of doing that for no return? The beautiful thing, and something that I've obviously discovered over the last couple of years, is that we now live in a world where you can get rewarded for creating things without permission. For me, my purpose goes into this because I hear from people like you telling me that it has made you think. It has made you think about how you need to or want to improve your life, to change your life, to make you feel better about yourself. Purpose should give you flow. Purpose should give you flow so that you don't think about time, you don't think about anything else apart from what you're working on right there and then. Because it encapsulates you. Because it's coming from within you, it means that you're putting everything into it without any regard for what anybody else thinks. That is your purpose, your sole purpose alone in this journey to have an impact on the world. Can you see why this might make you feel less stuck? with who you want to be and with what you want to do with your life. And the last one today, out of these 3 areas to make you feel less stuck, is I've classed it as self-love and identity. Who are you? What makes you feel alive? Write down 3 things that you love about yourself without taking anyone else into account. The best way to do this, and the most candid way, is how would people describe you at your funeral? That's a good way to wake yourself up and think, wow, did I love myself enough? Did I love who I was? Did I put my best self out there to the world and let them see who I truly was, my true identity? Identity is about doing your best, serving your best self, and giving your best to the world. Double down on who you are. Are you quite light-hearted and funny? Double down on it. Are you quite serious and passionate about certain things? Double down on it. It might even inspire others around you. These are the things that will make you a great person, not just a good person, a great partner, a great colleague, a great friend. And it's also the difference between living a very average life and living a wonderful life. And that's us today. Thank you very much for listening. I would love to hear what you think about this. And share with me, what's your purpose? Who are you? Who do you want to become? And how is this going to help you feel less stuck? So thank you very much for watching, listening, and thinking about these things. If you want more of this, just go and listen to another episode. Sign up to my email every Sunday to provoke your thought. And I'll see you all next time. Cheers.